Imagine daily life without algorithms guiding our phones, computers, and even the simplest calculations. Now, step back in time nearly 1,200 years to a golden era of innovation, creativity, and exploration, and a man who changed the course of history forever. This is the story of Al-Khwarizmi. Born in 780 CE in the region of Khwarizm, modern-day Uzbekistan, Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi came to life during one of the most transformative periods in human history, the Islamic Golden Age. This era saw a flourishing of science, philosophy, and art under the Abbasid Caliphate, whose capital, Baghdad, was the epicenter of knowledge, a place that attracted scholars from every corner of the empire. Al-Khwarizmi grew up surrounded by intellectual curiosity, and though very little is recorded about his early years, it is evident that he must have excelled academically. By his young adulthood, he had relocated to Baghdad, where he became affiliated with one of the most extraordinary institutions in human history, the Bait al-Hikmah, or House of Wisdom. Established by Caliph al-Ma'mun, the House of Wisdom was not just a library, it was a thriving center of research, translation, and innovation. Here, Al-Khwarizmi would find the environment that catalyzed his genius. But who was Al-Khwarizmi, and why is his name etched in history? In Baghdad, surrounded by scholars translating ancient texts from Greek, Persian, and Indian sources, Al-Khwarizmi undertook a profound mission: to synthesize, build upon, and disseminate knowledge. His contributions were groundbreaking in multiple fields, but none were as revolutionary as his work in mathematics. Al-Khwarizmi's work provided systematic methods for solving equations, crafting a robust foundation upon which future mathematicians would build. In 825 CE, Al-Khwarizmi wrote a book titled Kitab al-Mukhtasar fi Hisab al-Jabr wal-Muqabala, which translates to the compendious book on calculation by completion and balancing. This work marked the birth of algebra. Yes, algebra, the branch of mathematics that deals with solving equations, traces its roots directly to Al-Khwarizmi's innovations. Even the term algebra itself is derived from the Arabic word al-Jabr, which appears prominently in his book. But Al-Khwarizmi's genius didn't stop there. His work provided systematic methods for solving linear and quadratic equations, crafting a robust foundation upon which future mathematicians like Fibonacci would build. Importantly, his approach transformed mathematics, not just as an abstract discipline for philosophers, but as a practical tool for engineers, architects, surveyors, and merchants. His contributions to mathematics weren't limited to algebra. Al-Khwarizmi's other acclaimed work was on numbers. His treatise on Indian numerals introduced the Hindu-Arabic numeral system, the very numbers we use today, to Europe. Often overshadowed by his more famous contributions, this system vitalized Western mathematics, replacing cumbersome Roman numerals and paving the way for calculations that are both simpler and more accurate. Thanks to Al-Khwarizmi, the numeral system became a cornerstone of mathematics, illustrating the genius that transcended his era. While mathematics was his cornerstone, Al-Khwarizmi's intellectual reach extended far wider. He authored influential texts on astronomy, developing tables that were the most accurate of their time. His Zij al-Sindhind provided a detailed framework for calculating celestial movements, enabling more precise measurements of time and space. He also made contributions to geography, refining the ancient geographical maps of Ptolemy and offering new insights into the coordinate systems used to chart the Earth. It's remarkable to think that Al-Khwarizmi was thriving in Baghdad at a time when parts of the world were facing stagnation. While much of Europe was grappling with the early medieval period, scholars under the Abbasid Caliphate were fostering an unparalleled renaissance of knowledge. Supported by enlightened rulers such as Al-Ma'mun, the pursuit of learning was not treated as indulgence, it was a priority. However, history is rarely without complexity. Baghdad itself was far from a peaceful utopia. The political climate was often tense, and the House of Wisdom, like any institution, was subject to the challenges of funding, rivalries, and shifting priorities of its patrons. While Al-Khwarizmi's career flourished under Al-Ma'mun's reign, subsequent generations may not have provided such fertile ground for scholars. As Al-Khwarizmi advanced in career and age, his reputation solidified, and his writings spread across the Islamic world. Unfortunately, as with many figures of antiquity, the details of his personal life remain elusive. We know little about his family, his relationships, or even where he spent his final years. What we do know is that he passed away around 850 CE, leaving behind a legacy that would endure for centuries. After his death, Al-Khwarizmi's work began to echo far beyond the Abbasid Caliphate. By the 12th century, Latin translations of his texts were circulating in Europe, and his influence reached luminaries such as Leonardo Fibonacci. His name, the Latinized Al-Khwarizmi, became enshrined in the very fabric of the modern world. The term algorithm, in fact, directly derives from his name, signifying the systematic processes he crafted to solve problems. The legacy of Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi cannot be overstated. He wasn't just a mathematician. He was a pioneer who bridged worlds, bringing the wisdom of the ancients into dialogue with the innovations of his era. His work laid the groundwork for algebra, astronomy, and the numeral systems we rely upon daily. But perhaps more profoundly, he epitomized the power of curiosity, collaboration, and the pursuit of knowledge. Today, as we navigate a world driven by algorithms, from search engines to artificial intelligence, we remain indebted to this man from 9th century Baghdad. Muhammad ibn Musa al-Khwarizmi didn't just shape his time, he shaped the future. And though centuries may have passed, his impact continues, reminding us that genius can transcend all boundaries. So the next time you calculate an equation, plot a satellite's trajectory, or even send an email, consider the man whose name and ideas made it possible. Al-Khwarizmi, the father of algebra, the pioneer of algorithms, and a beacon of human ingenuity. His story is not just one of history, it's a story of progress, innovation, and the enduring spirit of discovery.
Thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel.